jetzt wieder Käse und Haram, hier bei meinem Let's Play von Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Spirit of Justice. Und beim letzten Mal haben wir die Verhandlung begonnen und eigentlich sollte die Divination des Jahres schon gelaufen sein, aber sie hat nicht geklappt. Rafer konnte den Kontakt zum Geist von Solot nicht aufstellen. Was daran liegt, wie sich jetzt beim Kreuzverhör mit Emma rausgestellt hat, dass Solot ein Fake-Name ist und dass er eigentlich ganz anders heißt. Jetzt wissen wir aber sein Real Name, ja, so heißt er. Oh, that puns. Und jetzt kann die Divination Seance doch vonstatten gehen. Und jetzt sind wir gespannt. Why would a lawyer work so hard to see the divination seance be held once more? You are a fool, Bobcat, and your foolishness shall yield no gratitude from me. For with the truth revealed by my insights, I shall gladly seek your demise. Bring it on, princess. Because I will correctly interpret each and every one of your insights. You will regret ever thinking you could use my sacred insights as evidence.
O Holy Mother, we hold this divination seance in your name. Let the eyes of everyone here be clear, and our ears be unstopped. O dance of devotion, guide the victim's soul to me, so that we may receive their final memories in the pool of souls.
Mal sehen, ob's diesmal klappt. Jetzt hat's geklappt. Naja, besonders viel hat man jetzt nicht gesehen. Oh boy. It is just as Mr. Wright surmised. Praise the Lord wasn't the victim's true name. And now at last we have seen the victim's final moments. But all we could see was the ground. You seem terribly disappointed. I take it you did not find any fodder for one of your infamous turnabouts. I, on the other hand, have discovered something. conclusive evidence that established the accused's guilt. You did? Ha 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 ha! A most surprising surprise attack. So, tell us, Prosecutor Satmadi, what is this conclusive evidence you have found? The Plumped Punisher theme song that the deceased heard. Please consider this item here. It was confiscated from the accused during her interrogation. Hey, that's my Plumped Punisher strap! When you press the Magatama on the Plumped Punisher's belt, Scheiße! Ein Lied! Oh my god! Ah! It seems the accused inadvertently pressed a button in the midst of her crime. This strap is an extremely rare item. It is not, Miss Fay. You'd bet not break it! There's only one of those in the whole wide world. Maya! Maya, no! It is just as I said. Your flights of fancy have come crashing down on you. She sure seems to be enjoying this. Yeah, I've never seen her look so thrilled before either. It is time to accept the fact that the divination seance is far more than mere evidence. It is the very truth that brings the hammer of justice down upon the accused. That is as conclusive as evidence can get. Now then, if there are no further objections... Doch. Slow down there, your majesty! At least let me make a counter-argument. What's this? Do you take issue with the divination seance? Wie immer? Oh, I have issues with it. I just don't know what there are yet. But that's never stopped me before. The divination seance is not the absolute truth. It only becomes the truth after it's been interpreted correctly. You do not know when you are beaten, do you, you foolish lawyer? I am the only one who speaks for the mitama of the deceased. If you believe there to be errors in my insides, then let us see you prove it. Liebend gerne, gib sie mir. The insides. The victim was offering up his prayers. It was the night of the rite. The pattern on the plaza's ground was visible in the darkness. Then someone was near, and the theme to the Plumped Punisher filled the air. The accused held the victim down and plunged her dagger into his upper back. The blade struck true, and in that instant, he departed from this world. That is everything the deceased experienced in his final moments. Her benevolence insights have painted a detailed picture, both vivid and true. I didn't notice any holes there. As they stand now, those insights are really stacked against us. I'll just have to go over each and every one of the deceased's sensations very carefully. Ja, also wie immer. Los geht's! Erstmal Pausen. Das war schon zu schnell. Ist aber auch eine recht kurze Insight. So, victim was offering up his prayer. Night of the rite. Through its dark, the pattern of the plaza ground was visible. Mit diesem Aussage starten wir mal. Zurückspringen auf Dings. The pattern of the plaza ground was... Ja! Die Nacht des Rituals. Wenn wir uns das mal geben. Ein bisschen weiter. So. Das sollte passen. Und jetzt hier dieses Bild. Es ist die Nacht des Rituals. Wenn wir uns nochmal hier Dings geben. Dings. Wo war es denn? Hier, Belebsaussage. The family photo was taken during the Feast of Blessings, where it's customary to partake in dishes made with gingil. These dishes are only prepared during the feast, which starts at noon of the day before the rite, and must be finished by 3 p.m. the same day. Also die Nacht vor dem eigentlichen Ritual, was ein Tag davor ist, soll heißen... Wie kann er immer noch das Gingil riechen?
Objection!
Was it really the night of the rite? What do you mean? It could not be otherwise. The accused slew acolytes a lot after killing the high priest during the purification rite. The only problem is the deceased spirit does not corroborate that. What's this? Take a good look at what the victim smelled. Do you see how it says gingil? Acolytes a lot shouldn't have smelled any gingil on the night of the rite. What do you mean? Let me back up my statement with some evidence for you. This should explain how the victim couldn't have smelled gingil on the night of the rite. Hatten wir gerade eben Belebsaussage. The high priest's wife, Belieb in me, told me about the Feast of Blessings. The feast includes a number of gingil-based dishes, and they're only supposed to be served at a certain time the day before the rite. Why, I believe you're right. I had completely forgotten about that. During the feast, the unique smell of gingil pervades the entire kingdom. The fact that the victim smelled it means he was murdered between noon and 3 p.m. the day before the purification rite. I'm not so easily fooled. Did that autopsy report not make it clear? The estimated time of death was during the rite. Oh, right. I taught her about that yesterday. Forgive me, your benevolence, but the estimated time of death is just that, an estimate. Depending on the circumstances, it's possible for it to change. What's this? Like, if a body was kept cold, the slowed rate of decay makes the death seem more recent. Why, I believe I have heard something of the sort before. If it is as Mr. Wright claims, the estimated time of death in the autopsy report will have to be revised. Wenn man genau weiß, wie man den Todeszeitpunkt manipulieren kann, dann ist das möglich. Genug Schnee liegt ja. Bartat, you blinded me with science! Songtext! So sorry. Wait, what am I apologizing for? No matter. The murder may have occurred in the afternoon hours the day before the rite. Nevertheless, the murder weapon with the accused's prints on it is incontrovertible evidence. I will now amend my insight to account for this new truth. It was the afternoon of the day before the rite. Though a bit dark, the pattern of the plaza ground was visible. Okay. The time of death has been corrected. leaving my insight infallible. Nick! A change in the time of death is bound to cause some sort of an inconsistency. If I had something that showed what it was like on that day, it could really help. Na dann. Bleiben wir nochmal hier beim zweiten Frame und zu dieser veränderten Aussage von wegen. Jetzt, wo wir wissen, dass der eigentliche Todeszeitpunkt eigentlich nach dem Essen vom Feast of Blessing stattfand. So. Wenn wir uns jetzt erinnern, so allgemein. Dings. Ups, bin ich schon zu weit. Wie war nochmal das Wetter zu diesem Zeitpunkt? You've got it, right? Es hätte eigentlich hier nicht keine grüne Fläche sein dürfen, wenn das hier stimmt. Also einfach nur das Sichtfeld, egal wo. Hauptsache Sicht.
Objection!
The change in the date and time of the crime has caused a new inconsistency to surface. What's this? Oh, you are making that irritating face again! Cease that at once! Sorry, but this is the face I was born with. Now, let's focus on what is important. What the victim saw in his final moments. Do you have bats in the belfry, Bartat? There's nothing to see. The ground at the plaza was all that entered the victim's eyes. And that's what I find so strange. On the day before the riot, it should have been impossible to see that pattern on the ground. Impossible, you say? Do explain. This piece of evidence shows why the plaza's ground was not visible that day. Die Zeitung. This newspaper has an article that is tiny in size but huge in importance. It says that the ground was covered with thick white ice the day before the riot. What? But... The victim did not see so much as an ice cube on the ground. Exactly. And so we must ask, what was the victim looking at in his final moments? If you have something to say, then say it. The last thing the victim saw was not the ground at the Plaza of Devotion. This can only mean that he was killed elsewhere. What? 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 Then where do you propose the victim was actually killed? Yes, tell us where. Otherwise, your argument is worthless. About that? Oh, I hadn't gotten to that part yet. Any ideas, Maya? Let me think. Well, it's somewhere green and shaggy, right? Right, but where could that be? What is it, Bartat? Giving up already? Not at all. Now, where have I seen something green and shaggy? This shows where the victim was killed. Ja, wo haben wir das schon mal gesehen? Ist einige Parts her. Wie wär's mit dem Rebellenversteck? The secret hideout the rebels were using. The rebel hideout? There was no such place anywhere on the of that chamber. You're absolutely right. There's no place. On the floor, anyway. Then what did the victim see in his final moments, if not the floor of the rebel hideout? This is what the victim saw in his final moments. So, ja, hier diesen Stein da nämlich. Guck doch mal, das hat sogar noch seinen Handabdruck da. The shaggy green surface the victim saw was one of the moss-covered stone slabs. As you can see, there are two distinct hand-shaped impressions in the moss here. I believe the victim was killed while he stood there with his hands pressed against the slab. That does agree with the seance vision. However, one cannot definitely declare they are one and the same. I concur. There is no proof that a murder occurred in the rebel hideout. Indeed. What evidence do you have of this? I've already shown you the evidence. What do you mean? Please take a look at the second version of the photo I just showed you. You can see the result of the luminol test I performed in the rebel hideout. This is proof positive that someone had been bleeding in front of that stone slab. Is this true? This information has already been provided to the police. Detective Sky, to whom does this blood belong? We thought it was the High Priest's blood that flowed in from outside. So we haven't tested it yet. Then you must do so at once! Yes, Your Majesty. It appears the police have finished testing the blood. Detective Sky, your report, please. The blood found in the rebel hideout belongs to Poré Salot, just like the defense claims. Detective Sky, do you realize what your blunder has done to me? When this trial concludes, I want to see you in my prayer chamber. There I will deliver a joyous sermon unto you for 8 hours straight. I'm really sorry, but please anything but that. Nick, maybe, just maybe, this is the chance we've been waiting for. Yep, it would seem so. I hate to do this to Emma, but go for it. It's full speed ahead. Oh man, tut mir leid. The victim was killed in the rebel hideout the day before the purification rite. Then his body was moved to the Plaza of Devotion by someone we've yet to identify. So when we thought we saw acolytes a lot praying during the rite, he was already dead. Ah! And that's not all. If he was killed at the inner sanctum, that would explain one more thing. And that would be? How the time of death was made to look later than it actually was. The proof of which was left behind at the sanctum. This points to how the time of death was made to appear later than it actually was. Dings, wo haben wir das denn? Hier die Fotos vom Inner Sanctum. Da haben wir einfach nur die Leiche und hier. Es wurde Schnee weggeschüttet. Da hat man einfach mal die Leiche versteckt. Why, these are photos of the Inner Sanctum. I'd like you to focus on this one. The proof is right here in this photo. This is how the time of death was made to appear later than it really was. Do you see how the snow has been removed from this one spot only? That's because it was used to keep the victim's body cold. And that's why the time of death wasn't what it seemed. That time was mistaken? And the place too? And just what do you believe that proves? So that my client is innocent. What of her fingerprints on a dagger and the plump Punisher deemed the victim hurt? You have failed to address these two key pieces of evidence. Oh, I see your point. Wasn't this your big chance, Nick? I'm really hoping that the difference in location can invalidate either the weapon or the theme song from being used as evidence against you. Actually, that might be possible. At least for one of them. Really? What's this? So you say you can contradict our argument for a key piece of evidence? Very well, let us see you try. Nick, take a good look at the rebel hideout photo. Oh! The defense can invalidate this piece of evidence. Wir können zwar noch nicht das mit den Fingerabdrücken belegen, aber immerhin, woher der Theme vom Plumped Punisher kommt. The Plumped Punisher theme? And how do you intend to support such a claim? Since the murder happened in the rebel hideout, there's something that played the theme song other than my client's strap. It wasn't a strap? Is this true? The item that played the Pumped Punisher theme song was this. Hier, dieser wunderschöne Wecker, den wir da gefunden haben. This is a Plumped Punisher alarm clock. I believe the victim heard its alarm go off. What proof do you have that the alarm went off? What proof do you have that it was my client's strap that played the theme song? No! Do not twist the facts with your lawyerly wiles! Either way, the accused would still be guilty based off our prints on the murder weapon. And here's what really happened. The victim stood with his hands on the stone slab in the hideout. It was the afternoon of the day before the raid. Das war's. So, there have been some twists and turns, that is the truth of what happened. I won't get anywhere until I can eliminate the dagger. Most impressive, your benevolence. I see no inconsistencies anywhere in the prosecution's case. No, there is one. What's this? You still claim there to be an inconsistency? Try as you might, the outcome will always be the same. Wie du meinst. Hätte dich noch warnen können, aber nein, dann halt nicht. Okay, an dieser Stelle soll es dann wieder gewesen sein. Ja. Und nächste Woche geht's dann auch wieder wie gewohnt weiter und wir schauen uns noch weiter den Insight an und nehmen die Sache auseinander. Egal ob positiv oder negativ, Bewertung immer gern gesehen, das war's von meiner Seite. Wir sehen uns das nächste Mal wieder. Sehr geil!